after a much-needed day off. The first of 8 games here at PNC Park, where the Pirates are looking to boost that home record. It is interleague play. The Minnesota Twins in town, and Francisco Liriano will take the hill against his former team. It's the Bucks and the Twins. All of that straight ahead, right here on Root Sports.
Flying the Pirate colors above Pittsburgh as the Buccos return home to start an 8-game homestand. Yep, it's Pup Night on this Tuesday evening as the Pirates welcome the Minnesota Twins for interleague play. For the first time, the Twins come to town here at PNC Park. Greg Brown along with Steve Blass, glad to be back home. And Steve, we take a look at Francisco Liriano, the former Twin who makes the start tonight for the Pirates. He's probably pitched better than his record would indicate.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got 1 win. Last 2 starts, he's picked up a couple of losses. Last time out against the Phillies, he pitched well enough to win, but the Pirates were not scoring much for him. You see, he still lives downstairs, and the breaking ball is still very, very effective. So he hasn't been awful. It just hasn't come around for the wins. He has to be very good tonight because the Twins 14-6 against left-hand starters.
Might be special for Francisco Liriano as he takes on the team that brought him to the big leagues. He spent parts of 8 years in the Twin Cities.
Yeah, what a resume. I mean, he's been up, he's been hurt, he's been down, he's been back up again, and we're very fortunate to have him. I think we're catching Francisco Liriano at a very good time in his career.
Hopefully the Pirates have Jose Tabata back at a good time in his career. They say he's prepared differently. He was hot down at AAA Indianapolis. Who knows how much he'll play, but Jose Tabata is back with the Bucks.
Yeah, and he's familiar with this whole scenario, so he's worked himself back up. Not many RBIs, but the .352 batting average, so a little depth. I think it's helped his opportunity because we got the bullpen squared away again after really having a difficult time in Chicago. So run reliever down, 1 position player back up.
Back home, the first of 2 with the Minnesota Twins as the Pirates start their 8-game homestand. The Pirates and the Twins will have the lineups in the first pitch from Pittsburgh coming up next.
On Root Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota helps you get the most out of your drive. Just ask a friend who drives one. Toyota, let's go places. By Barrel Automotive, we're driven to be better. And by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Let's go Bucks.
Here comes Francisco Liriano to the hill. Former Twin, a 31-year-old who is having an outstanding season, though he is just 1-1. Opponents batting only .168 against Francisco Liriano. Check out the Honda starting lineup for Paul Molitor's Minnesota Twins. And Danny Santana is going to lead things off. He would normally hit ninth when they employ the DH. Brian Dozier follows, then Joe Mauer. Trevor Plouffe hits cleanup. Torrey Hunter in May hitting .367. Kurt Suzuki is the catcher. Then it's Aaron Hicks, Shane Robinson, and Ricky Nolasco.
Need to score some runs for Francisco Liriano. His number's brought to you by Hyundai. 1-3, one win, but an ERA under 3. Certainly has pitched well enough to have some more W's. Limited work against his former team. This will be career start number 3 for Francisco. So where he can pick up where A.J. Burnett left off Sunday in Chicago.
I think I said 1-1. As you can see, his record 1-3. We check out the Honda defense. And Jung Ho Gong makes the start again at shortstop for Jordy Mercer. Josh Harrison at third. It's Walker and Alvarez on the right side of the infield. Marte, McCutchen, Polanco on the outfield left to right. Francisco Cervelli catches Liriano.
And we might actually have the Twins where we want them. They're much better back home in their home ballpark than they have been on the road. 14-6 at home. Not nearly as good away from Minnesota.
7-11 away from Target Field. Jose Tabata is back. Had to put him, of course, on the 40-man roster. He was not on the 40-man. They moved Justin Sellers to the 60-day disabled list to make room. And underway, and it's ball 1. Fastball to the switch hitting Danny Santana. And it's ball 2.
Now this Twins team, surprising maybe a few people early in the season. 21-17, only 3 games back in the American League Central. Playing good baseball.
Started out 1-6. We chatted with Paul Molitor at length before the game today and talking about, he said, well, I'm not really surprised. He said we did get off to that sluggish start, but we have played much better baseball in the month of May. There's a ground ball routine to Walker. And Santana is the first out. The Twins are hitting .260 as a team. That's 4th in the American League. The pitching staff with a .425 ERA. Only 4 teams in the American League have higher earned run averages. This is a club that went 70-92 last year. Ron Gardenhire let go, and the Hall of Famer Paul Molitor, St. Paul native and former Twin, takes over. Brian Dozier has a 9-game hitting streak. He's quietly one of the best second basemen in the American League, and the Pirates quietly have one of the best second basemen in the National League.
And we did talk about Dozier when we faced the Twins down in Florida in spring training about them investing a lot of money, giving him a substantial contract, but they, like everybody else in Major League Baseball, like the way he goes about his business.
That's what he is doing during this 9-game hitting streak, hitting .353 over that stretch. And that's hit well toward right center field. And how about that? Brian Dozier hits his 7th home run of the season over the right center field wall, and it gives the Twins a 1-0 lead in the first.
And we didn't even have time to tell you about a very substantial breeze blowing straight out, and that's kind of a launching area to right center field. He got it, and you got an early indication with Andrew McCutchen not moving very much at all after an initial step or 2 at the most. Up, out over the plate, extends his arm and gives it a ride to the opposite field.
Dozier hit 23 home runs last year. He just turned 28 years old on Friday. Here's Joe Mauer. Smiles for Dozier.
Fifth home run given up by Francisco.
So Liriano and the Pirates trail early here. And his former battery mate, Joe Mauer, who caught Francisco Liriano 85 times over the years. He's now the first baseman.
20 RBIs and no home runs for Mauer.
Meanwhile, for Dozier, that is his third home run in his last 4 games.
Good looking breaking ball. Pretty good discipline to lay off that pitch.
2-2 on Mauer. 32-year-old St. Paul, Minnesota native, former American League MVP. Strike 3 call.
Yep. Just missed on the previous breaking ball. Gets this one for out number 2. Very nicely placed. WB Mason strike zone. Perfecta.
Rivers Casino tips to win.
Well, you need to turn Francisco around a little bit. Not desperate. Certainly, he's been pitching okay, but he's lost his last 2. He's given up 8 runs in his last 13 innings. You kind of want to get better numbers than that. And you want some good work from Arrested Pen. It was a stretch over the latter part of the weekend after that Friday lengthy game where they used everybody.
That ball hit toward the right center field gap by Trevor Plouffe. He has extra bases. A double for Plouffe.
Right-hand batter outside, out on that area where you can get a pretty good look at it. And that's exactly what you want to do if you're going to be a major league hitter. You take that type of a pitch and you send it to the opposite field.
So 2 pitches out of the zone. One for a home run by Dozier, and this one a double to right center for Plouffe. And here's Torrey Hunter. Back with the Twins this year.
There's where you want that fastball, not out, up and away. You want it in that neighborhood right there. He missed with it. But you have got to keep batters honest. You've got to keep them off that high outside fastball if it's not going to be 97, 98 miles an hour. They're going to have time to push it the opposite way.
Ball popped to shallow right. First baseman Alvarez will make the catch. Brian Dozier extends his hitting streak to 10 straight games. It's his 7th home run, an early lead for Minnesota. Early, we'll check out a Toyota starting lineup. Brian Dozier's home run giving the Twins the early lead. Gregory Polanco will start things off. Will be followed by Neil Walker and Andrew McCutchen with Starling Marte once again hitting cleanup. Jung Ho Kang is at short, batting fifth. Pedro Alvarez, Josh Harrison, Francisco Cervelli, Francisco Liriano. Round out the starting nine for the Bucks.
Against the veteran right-hander Ricky Nolasco. And the whole thing about Nolasco, this veteran has been around quite a while. Which Ricky are we going to see? The one that gave up 13 runs in 13 innings his first 3 starts, or the last time out where he had 5+ scoreless innings? He's 3-1 with a 6.38 ERA, and he just got bounced around significantly his first 3 starts. Got it back together last time out. Kind of ironic. 3-1, 6.38. There's a lot of pitchers with really good ERAs.
Liriano's 1-3.
1-3 with an ERA now right around 3 even.
So Polanco wants to get off the schneid. He's over his last 14. Pirates have seen Nolasco in the past. Days with the Marlins.
Yep, a little bit with the Dodgers. 10th major league season, looking for his 99th career win. He's had an interesting career because under the radar he's had 6 seasons where he's won in double figures. A lot of it coming with Florida.
Big disappointment last year, the first year of his 4-year $49 million deal. There are those, including his current manager, that believe he pressed in order to impress last year after that big contract. And Paul Mahler is saying that he was shut down for a time this season with elbow inflammation, a little bit rusty early. And he strikes out Polanco looking.
And you're going to see a lot of that curveball because he's not a flamethrower. He never really was a flamethrower. But the speed is not what it was. It's been around 10 years. But a lot of breaking pitches. So dig your heels in for the hook tonight from Ricky Nolasco.
Neil Walker, 274 hitter. 250 lifetime versus Nolasco.
And there's a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. You're not going to see too much more speed than that.
Bounced directly to Mauer. Two easy outs, a strikeout and a bouncer to first. Take a look at the Twins defensively. The shortstop, Danny Santana, struggling. 10 errors. Trevor Plouffe at third. Brian Dozier and Joe Mauer on the right side of the infield. Shane Robinson in left. Aaron Hicks in center. Torrey Hunter in right. Kurt Suzuki, the veteran catcher. Those 10 errors are third most in the major leagues for any shortstop. Marcus Semien of the A's has 15 miscues, and Ian Desmond of the Nationals with 11. And then Danny Santana. And now Andrew McCutchen. 417 career hitter versus Ricky Nolasco, 5 out of 12.
The one thing about Nolasco, he's been around 10 years, so he, more than anybody else, knows that he doesn't throw as hard as he used to. So he knows that the fastball many times, not all the time, many times will be used to set up the curveball.
He's made 9 previous starts against the Pirates, a couple of bullpen outings in his career. 5 and 4 against the Bucks with a 248 earned run average.
And right away he contradicts what I was talking about with throwing Andrew 3 straight fastballs, 90, 91, 92. And again.
Gets under that one. Way up there on the right side. Second baseman, Dozier. 10 pitches, and the Pirates retired in order. On to the second. 1-0 Twins.
The 2 against the Twins. I'm Robbie and Smikowski. Rodriguez was our guest on Twitter Tuesday, and he was asked the first question tonight, which of all the positions you play, which are you most comfortable in and why?
Short and second. Middle of the field. That's where I've played most of my career, and it's probably where I feel most comfortable because I have the most fun. You can make some really great plays there, and you're involved in almost every play.
Well, and Greg and Steve, obviously, he's proven to be a very valuable commodity, playing all over the place. In fact, he's played everywhere except for pitcher and catcher in his big league career, and he's a guy that most teams love to have a guy like that. They can plug it in any time. Obviously, he's not going to be sitting on the bench too long. Probably see him in the 7th inning tonight somewhere.
Well, probably first base, Robbie. That's where he's gone as a defensive replacement for Pedro Alvarez. And you're right. And I think it's interesting, guys, that when you pick up a player from the American League, and here we're watching the Twins, you just don't get a real good idea about the type of player that a Rodriguez is until you watch him play every day.
Yeah, he even sounds, he comes across like a professional. Yeah. Like he's sure of himself, sure of what he can do, where he wants to be. Yeah, he sounds like a pro. And from what we've seen, he plays like a pro.
Yep. Bouncing around all over the place. Josh Harrison knows all about that.
Well, we learned a lot about him last year, didn't we?
Kurt Suzuki, a 2-1 count on the veteran backstop in his second year. He was picked up as a free agent. Liriano falls behind him, 3-1, 6th in the order. So Liriano, who was originally signed by the Giants as a non-drafted free agent in September of 2000. And Suzuki goes the other way.
Well, what are we seeing early? Everybody pushing the ball to the right side of the infield and outfield. Some of them pushing it a long way.
And that's been it. Anybody that's put the ball in play has gone the other way against Liriano.
So you want to see the breaking ball downstairs. You want to see that fastball in on the hands a little bit to stop them pushing the ball that way all the time. Saw somebody off. Cervelli wants it in there. Speaking of Cervelli and the off day, you think he didn't enjoy the off day yesterday after taking the beating that he has taken for the last week or so, couple weeks? Back outside. That one nicely delivered.
1 ball, 1 strike on Aaron Hicks.
No problem with the strikeouts for Francisco coming into the game. 46 innings, 50 strikeouts.
Hicks recalled last week.
Yep. Perfected delivery there, previous pitch.
Traded to the Twins along with Boof Bonser and Joe Nathan for A.J. Pierzynski in November of 2003.
One of the great names, Boof Bonser. Almost as good as Hilly Hathaway.
Paul Molitor, no surprise, talking about how you've got to be patient against this guy. The Twins saw Liriano just 3 days after he was traded to the White Sox. In July of 2012, 3 days later, he made the start against the Twins. It's the 3rd career appearance against his former club.
It's easier to be patient when you as a hitter are ahead in the count like we have right here.
And a walk, and it's 1st and 2nd. And early on, Liriano not sharp. To our Barrel Automotive League leaders. Double plays turned. Pirates and Rockies tops in the majors. Young and Walker up the middle tonight. Jordy Mercer again. A work day is what Clint Hurdle called it. Said you really can't do a heck of a lot in the smaller confines of Wrigley Field. Working a lot with Jordy Mercer, and he'll be back in there, well, maybe as early as tomorrow. We'll see. Bounce towards short. 6, 4. Safe the first. Shane Robinson, good speed, beats it out.
Yep. That's that good speed we used to see when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals. Not sharply hit, but certainly had a chance to turn it. But not to happen. And Allegheny Health Network Supermo showing you it was easy call. Almost had a Twins killing. A little harsh to word it that way.
Yep.
But we could still use it.
No, it would have been factual. Could still get one, but Velasco, well, I was going to say probably going to be bunting the runner to second, but he swings away here. Career 137 average. The home plate umpire is Alan Porter.
Let's see if we can see that right hand again.
One and two.
Now, a pitcher should not have that much discipline. You got to swing at that ball, you got to miss it, and you got to go back to the dugout. Francisco still in good shape. Didn't work inside. Let's go back outside. The ins and outs of an at bat.
2-2 count on the pitcher, Ricky Nolasco.
I think it's time for the hook. The curveball. The Uncle Charlie.
Bouncing ball foul.
Extended at bat. They did go with a curveball, off-speed pitch of some type, away from the fastball. Looked like it was going to be quick and easy. Very quickly 0-2, but now it's 2-2, and several pitches.
Two and two. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ricky Nolasco. His first at bat this season. Had 2 ABs last year, was 0 for 2.
Must be something way back in his previous life with Florida where he could swing the bat decently.
Finally.
Okay, so we went away from the fastballs, fouled off a bunch of curves, come back with a fastball and get him. So as well it ends well with that at bat.
Now Danny Santana, who bounced out to second to start this ball game. Santana, the 24-year-old native of the Dominican Republic, has punched out 37 times. That's the most on the Twins team this season.
You know, Greg, when we saw the Twins down in spring training, I didn't see a lot of buzz, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of optimism for the ball club. But, you know, when a club starts playing well, like the Twins, you start believing in what you can do because you're doing it. Same way the Houston Astros are feeling, the New York Mets are feeling. It's because you've done it, not that you think you can do it. So those clubs are feeling good about themselves.
Oh, boy, oh boy. Hit Santana to load the bases for Dozier.
Dropped him like a bad habit. That hit and hurt, and down goes Frazier.
It really hurts because a struggling Santana gives way now to Brian Dozier, who hit the home run in the first and has a 10-game hitting streak.
right on the toe. Frustration by number 47 out on the mound. Your first standoff of the game right here.
First pitch strike to Dozier. One ball, one strike, way inside. Opponent's batting 168 against Liriano. That is second in the league to Shelby Miller, who nearly no-hit the Marlins the other day.
8 2/3, that close.
Falls behind Dozier, 2-1.
Now this guy's on a hot streak and he's doing well, but don't lose track of the fact that he's hitting 264 coming into the game. I mean, you can't get too enamored with these guys that you're nibbling and too careful. And Liriano is right in that neighborhood right now.
2-2. Liriano last time out on the road in Philadelphia 6 days ago. 7 innings, 3 runs on 7 hits.
Pirates once again not giving him much offensive support. A couple of runs. They lose it 3-2.
Cervelli can't find the ball, and a run will score on a wild pitch. Couldn't find it. And it's 2-0.
A very messy top of the second inning. Take a look. Down and in, the ball bounces away, and Francisco turns the other way, and that is a signal for the runner to take off from third. He sees the ball. The runner sees the ball going one way. He sees Francisco going the other way. That's your sign to take off. That's your signal. That's your spark. No contest coming in.
Well, the bases are loaded once again. The second walk of the inning.
And the first visit from the Pirate dugout by Ray Surge. Liriano just all over the place here in the top of the second inning.
Kurt Suzuki led off with that base hit the other way. Then he walked Aaron Hicks. Shane Robinson hit that chopper to short. Pirates got 1 out. Velasco had the extended at bat and struck out. Then he hit Santana with that slider on the foot. And he walks Dozier after uncorking a wild pitch. And already you see there 43 pitches.
Well, one of our Rivers Casino tips to win a well-rested bullpen. And there's a good chance you're going to see it a lot earlier than you wanted to.
There's Joe Mauer. Struck out looking in the first.
We told you also that these Twins are 14-6 against left-hand starters. But it's not so much what they're doing, it's what Francisco is doing to himself.
One ball, one strike on Mauer. Joe Mauer, 2009 most valuable player in the American League. 3 batting titles.
Well, I didn't know if we're going to get the call or not, but Alan Porter the last second, got the right hand up, so we go to 1-2. You're looking for every break or thing to go your way right now as you can to get out of this. Leave them there and then think about winning ugly. You don't let yourself think like this as a pitcher in this situation, but you're hoping for a lucky break. Line drive at somebody, swing at a bad pitch.
Stays 1-2. The Pirates have Gong playing almost directly behind second. They don't have the big overshift. Well, they normally wouldn't anyway with runners at second and third, but we're told that Mauer very, very rarely will pull the ball.
But we're going to shift on him anyway.
Oh, big block there from Cervelli.
Yeah. There's a difference between missing a little bit and missing a lot. Francisco's really missing by a lot right now.
Cervelli gets it again. That one clipped him on the shoulder, looks like. Alan Porter to buy him some time. Two balls, two strikes. Three and two. Now you're in a dicey situation with no place to put him, and Mauer not biting on the breaking ball. Does Liriano dare throw anything but a fastball? Plouffe, who doubled in the first, is on deck. And he grounds it the other way for a two-run single. Now they're going to try and wave a third. And Marte was just, to be quite honest with you, not showing any sense of urgency. And Gene Lynn picked up on that. So they score another run on just a slowly hit ground ball through that left side of the infield.
Yep, and this is a guy that's been hitting the ball the opposite field, and you're playing shift for a reason because of the percentages, but he goes the other way. He's not a pull hitter anymore, and just kind of a casual approach on that play from left field. You're right, Greg, let's be honest about it.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't score three runs on what should be a single.
And unfortunately, it's the second time in the past week that Marte's done that. We talked to Clint Hurdle about it. It was Carlos Ruiz in Philadelphia that turned a single into a double in Philly.
And we know what kind of arm Marte has. I mean,
everybody does.
If there's no contest, if he turns loose even a strong throw that late,
all he has to do is get to the ball quickly, and you don't even have to throw it.
Right.
Just run to the ball. They're not going to test.
Right, but then once he does get to the ball, turn it loose. You've been lax in not getting to it, but his arm could still recover and get the out at home plate.
Well, it's 2-0 on Plouffe and a 5-0 Twins lead.
It was a casual approach in the outfield and a casual throw.
Oh, that's drilled to left. And the route in the second inning is on. It is 7-0 as Plouffe hits a two-run bomb. 7-0 Twins. Plouffe's 6th of the year.
This is stunning. Take nothing away from the Twins, but Liriano has been that good. And, consider, Greg, early, everything outside was being hit with authority the opposite field, so he comes back inside, and that doesn't work either. The telephone is going to ring, and this could become a very, very long night. over 50 pitches, well over 50 pitches, with 2 outs in the second inning.
Half of them out of the strike zone, by the way. Radames Lee starts to loosen. A 40-pitch inning. 9 men to the plate. The Twins score 6 and lead 7-0.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Chevy Equinox and your Western PA Chevy dealers. By Cherry 5-Hour Energy Shots, helping support Special Operations Warrior Foundation. And by Day Automotive, we're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
7-0 as Trevor Plouffe, a home run, a 2-run shot, highlighted the scoring. Joe Mauer credited with a 2-run double.
2-run double?
Right? Or 3-run double.
Yeah,
3-run double. Yeah. The wild pitch also in the inning.
And wouldn't you know it, Starling Marte leads off. Many times a leadoff man will lead off to a cheer, and now it just gets worse for the Pirate left fielder tonight. This is called a chase of a bad pitch times 10.
Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Gone. Rifles it to right center. He didn't waste any time.
Nope.
Jung-Ho Kang hitting .354 over his last 14 games with authority.
And, we heard Clint Hurdle talking about Gunn as you see the leg kick, and then this was not a routine ground ball. I mean, it was a ground ball, but that ball was smoked. The ball was hit very hard. Talking about the fact, been this way in baseball for a long time, you keep playing the hot bat. That's why Jung-Ho Kang is in the batting order in the lineup.
Pedro Alvarez 3 for 9 in previous matchups against Velasco. Wild pitch.
Could be one of those nights. By the way, just a footnote, Nolasco making his 5th start has not given up a home run, and that's not to say that he has been great in that category. Last year 27 starts, 22 home runs, so they're there as you watch the ball get by Suzuki.
And that's line towards center field and a base hit.
Nowhere for Gunn to go. You're down 7-0. This has got to be piecework. Pedro hit it just soft enough where it didn't carry another 3 feet out to Aaron Hicks in center field, dropping in front of him.
Josh Harrison has a 6-game hitting streak. Caught fire on the road trip, hitting .480 during this 6-game stretch. Takes a strike.
Well, has to start with a run, so let's get a run or two.
Two on Harrison.
Now there's the 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and 90 miles is just fine when you throw it after you throw a curveball. Changes speeds. That's what it can go either way. They talk about subtracting or adding on. That time you're adding on. You're adding on speed after the slowness of the curveball. He was late on it.
Strikes him out looking.
Backdoor breaking ball. Josh thinking it curved around the inside corner, and Alan Porter saying it caught the inside corner. That's not where Ricky Nolasco wants to throw a curveball. But picks up the inside corner. Accurate call. That will surprise right-hand batters as much as anything, because any breaking ball, you're looking for the pitcher to try to throw it outside. When it comes in there, you'll flinch every once in a while. It's like that might have been what Josh did.
Cervelli has hit safely in his last 5 starts. Average up to 290. On Cervelli. 9 RBIs on the season. Balls and 1 strike. Josh Harrison, a strikeout victim. Yeah. Three Ks for Nolasco. Nolasco is 3-0 lifetime against the Pirates when he's pitched in his home ballpark. 2-4 here. And Cervelli, as you can see, does not agree with Alan Porter there.
Suzuki. I'm trying to bring the ball back in.
Didn't have to.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost cost him a strike, probably. In fact, I wonder if that goes through Cervelli's mind. You see that jabbing. I think you've talked about this before. I know Neil Huntington has about pitch framing. Sometimes you can cost a pitcher a strike.
Exactly.
And you almost think Kurt Suzuki could have. Alan Porter made the right call, but that last-second jab.
That's right. You get an umpire saying, well, he tried to buy the call, so I'm not going to give it to him. Didn't have to. There are a couple pitches that the Pirates are barking about that have been strikes. Maybe it is going to be that kind of night for the Pirates.
And ball 4. So the bases are loaded, but it is Francisco Cervelli. That's one thing Nolasco had the luxury of doing. You wouldn't think he would care, leading 7-0. He wouldn't just be throwing a bunch of strikes in there. Now they're going to pinch hit already in the first inning.
Yeah.
Jose Tabata is going to pinch hit for Liriano in the second inning.
Yeah. Now, a lot of the attention, Greg, rightfully so, is going to go on Marte for that play. But it was going to be a 2-run single before he was involved. It wasn't all Marte. It was a lot of Francisco Liriano, too.
Liriano defenders might say it was just a ground ball through the hole, but it did. I mean, it was a hit. Not 2-run singles, it turned out. Well, it turned out being a 3-run double. Ball one on Tabata, who is hot at AAA. His last 14 games hitting .438 for the season, .352, just 4 RBIs. And Tabata was all smiles back in that clubhouse today. And a bounce to the right side and off the glove of Dozier. Normally sure-handed second baseman will cost the Twins a run.
And however they rule it, it is a Pirate run. Goes outside and just kind of bounces it wide of Dozier. And Pirates are on the board.
Jung Ho Kang got it started. 7-1. They will give Tabata a hit.
Now you get a base hit here for Mr. Polanco. You have gotten the Twins' attention.
Again, he's 0 for his last 15 at bats, including a strikeout looking in the first. Really get his attention with a long ball. Hasn't given one up since September 27th last year. 1-1.
As you take a look at Polanco, Nolasco does have a history of the long ball percentages. Career-wise, he's given up his share and then some.
It's not a prediction.
Nope. No.
Just a comment.
Yeah. Let's elevate it up to an expectation. Just shy of a prediction.
Pop up to left.
Really took a lot of speed off that pitch. Got him out in front.
Bucks get one. And the bullpen will be called upon early. Pittsburgh area. Thanks for watching and rooting on your Pittsburgh Pirates. All of us at Root Sports and the Pirates appreciate your support. Young Bucco fans on hand, hoping their Pirates can rally. They get one.
Well, they're going to have
early.
to root hard.
The PFC scoreboard shows you it's 7-1. Jose Tabata getting credit for an RBI single as a pinch hitter.
uphill battle, but we're on the board, and Vladimir Lee's coming on to work here. He worked the last part of that lengthy Friday program in Chicago when the Cubs outlasted the Bucks in 12 innings after 5 hours. Remember that game with the Polanco situation in right field? Well, it was the Matty Alou situation, only it was in right field instead of center against the Cubs. Got tangled
can of
up.
corn?
Yep. Yeah, the can of corn. Yeah, it was. Routine fly ball.
Didn't they call that the can of corn game?
Yep. Prince said, number 9, can of corn. That ball was dropped. This ball that was hit, Polanco was never able to get to it. Got his feet tangled up. Pitching for a strike. Liriano goes a couple innings, 7 runs on 5 hits, a couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts.
Shortest outing since he went 2 innings against the Cardinals April 26th last year. Line toward left field, and that's extra bases. There'll be a double for Kurt Suzuki.
We were talking about the Twins being much better at home. Is that a misprint? A breaking ball right there, not far enough inside, not far enough outside. Cervelli will go out and make sure as we watch the replay. They got their signs all squared away for a man on second. Ball pinballing around. Busy night for the Pirate outfielders so far.
And a line drive, base hit to left field for Aaron Hicks. Twins have their hitting shoes on.
And this time Glenn does hold somebody up at third. See Cervelli move outside, and a good piece of hitting by Aaron Hicks, just not trying to do anything but push the ball where it's pitched. They really have shown some very good at bats. I mean, the ground ball that created 3 runs is one thing, but they have been hitting the pitches where they have been. If they're outside, they push them the other way. If they're inside, they've been pulling them. Disciplined hitting. Ironically, probably the softest ball hit was the routine ground ball by Mauer that just trundled its way through the infield for 3 runs.
Up the middle. Double play. With another run.
Yep. And each point that they put up right now really makes it that much more of an uphill climb for the Pirates. But it does clean it up.
Chick-fil-A double play. Normally, Steve, you say we'll exchange a run for a double play.
Not
We're down 7-1.
No. Yeah, it's too early in the game to make deals now when you're like this.
Gong to Alvarez. Here now is Ricky Nolasco, who has this substantial lead. Takes the strike. Again, Liriano's shortest outing since April 26th, 2014, when he went 2 innings against the Cardinals. But that was when he was feeling dizzy and left the game with an illness. Strike on Nolasco. It's 0-2.
No reports tonight that he was feeling under the weather. And that report we got on Chris Bryant on Sunday. He left because he was under the weather. Interesting departure.
Well, the Twins get another run, and it's 8-1.
the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
8-1 Twins, first of two interleague series, off day Thursday, and then the Mets are in starting on Friday. Pirates will go to Target Field for the first time ever, July 28th and 29th for a two-game series. A.J. Burnett will be getting ready for a start. What a matchup that's going to be. The Dark Knight against Batman, Matt Harvey. The Dark Knight goes Saturday afternoon, and Batman A.J. Burnett goes for the Pirates, the middle game of that series. Strike one on Neil Walker, who grounded out his first time up.
And now after that pitch, they're going to bring their third baseman over in the middle of the infield configuration.
Driven deep to right. It is foul.
Got a lot of it, but a little bit too early.
And he comes back to strike him out. 4 Ks for Ricky Nolasco. Bucks and Mets we mentioned coming up this weekend, and Friday night. Don't forget about the free shirt Friday. First 20,000 fans get the t-shirt designed by A.J. Burnett himself. Compliments of People's Natural Gas. Fun starts early on Federal Street. Live entertainment, food, games. Friday night block party presented by Barrel Automotive. For tickets, go to pirates.com/free shirt Friday.
Yeah, nice looking design and nice looking design of work against the Cubs Sunday afternoon.
Still having fun. Big cut. And McCutchen in the hole 0-2.
Big separation of speed. Nolasco can come all the way down to like 71, 72 miles an hour with that off-speed pitch.
Rolling it toward third, Trevor Plouffe.
I guess that's what you call a rollover. Looked like the breaking ball down and away and kind of turned it back over, rolled over on it.
And it brings up Starling Marte. Again, Nolasco is in the second year of his 4-year deal.
What's crazy, Greg, is that he's got an ERA coming in the game of 6.38, and he's won his last 3. He's only had 4 starts, and he's won 3 of the 4, and stands with an ERA of over 6.
Tonight his offense has staked him to a very large lead, 7-run lead, in fact. Nolasco went 6-12 last year with a 5.38 ERA in his first season in Minneapolis. Won 12 games. 2011, a 14-game winner with the Marlins 5 years ago. And Nolasco was originally drafted by the Chicago Cubs in 2001. In December of 2005, he was traded to the Marlins along with Sergio Mitre, the pitcher for Juan Pierre. And the miserable night for Starling Marte continues. 10 pitches that inning for Nolasco.
It's here. I'm Robbie and Smikowski. Twitter Tuesday with Sean Rodriguez tonight. He was asked by Mike, has any moment in your career come close to topping Game 162 back in 2011 when he played with Tampa?
The way that game went, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, early on, we were out of it. It was 7-0, what, fifth, sixth inning? And then all of a sudden, they start pulling their starters. We start, basically clawing back. They were already in it. They had no reason to play anymore. And we basically came back. I think it was a 7-0 deficit to tie it up and then go ahead several innings later, an extra innings in.
So with the Pirates down 7 runs right now, Greg and Steve, obviously anything could happen, but that was the game when Evan Longoria hit the very famous walk-off home run right down inside the left field foul pole, the game that put the Tampa Bay Rays into the playoffs. That was the same year that the Boston Red Sox had that collapse. They lost a crazy game in Baltimore that night. Obviously a dramatic moment, and hopefully, hey, maybe Sean Steve can come back from 7 again, right?
Oh, yeah, not a bad idea, Robbie. And what a night!
Well, that was a famous
Major League
night.
Baseball.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Everything was going on. Everybody was involved.
That was truly spectacular. September 28th, 2011. The Rays were playing the Yankees, and Tampa Bay down 7-0 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. 1 strike. Pirates have come back from significant deficits over the years. Pirates, I guess the one that stands out for us, Steve, was the July 15th game, 1994 against Houston. They were down, Pirates were down 8-0, won that game 11-8. Two and two. This year, by the way, Major League Baseball, an interesting twist. Maybe hoping to create excitement as we saw 4 years ago, but everybody will play on Sunday, October the 4th. Everybody in baseball, the Pirates will be playing here against Cincinnati at 3:05.
At the same time. Yes, everywhere. You imagine going back and forth and around and all. Well, they tried to that night in 2011. There were games flashing around all over the place, trying to keep up.
Will also avoid a team like the Cardinals sitting a pitcher like an Adam Wainwright, say, when they know for example, the Pirates lost last year to the Reds, so the Cardinals clinched the division outright. They could sit a guy like Wainwright and hold him to the playoffs. That they won't be able to do that this time around. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs. Joe Mauer struck out and was credited with a double and 3 RBIs. He's off the hill on the first, and 1-2-3 go the Twins. A 10-pitch inning for Radames Lees. On this date, May 19, 2000, Pirates beat the Cardinals 13-1. Jason Kendall hits for the cycle at Three Rivers. Career high 5 RBIs, homered in the first, singled in the second, doubles in the third, and caps it off with a 2-run triple in the 8th inning. He becomes the first Pirate to hit for the cycle at Three Rivers Stadium in the final season at Three Rivers.
Jason Kendall had some great days wearing a Pittsburgh Pirate uniform. I don't know if anything tops that jump he made in San Diego around the catcher to score that miraculous run. There's that off-speed curveball again. Pitching with a big lead doesn't have to be an art. You just got to have a feel for what you're trying to do. And trying to fill up the zone with strikes primarily without getting careless. That's the qualifier.
2-2. Carlos Enrique in the last go, facing Chung Ho Gong, who singled in the second. In the air to right. Torrey Hunter. Oh, it's going to make a fine catch. He made that look easy in foul territory.
Looked like he was going to back off for a minute and then realized that he had some more room. He has made some of the more spectacular catches in the history of Major League Baseball.
9 Gold Gloves. Torrey Hunter returning to the Twins this year, signing a 1-year, $10.5 million deal. Really made that look easy. Of course, all those years in center field with the Twins, later the Angels, a couple of seasons with the Tigers. Happy to be back where his Major League Baseball career began.
Still got images of him in Minnesota against those plastic backgrounds in center field. What they call them, the garbage bags in the outfield. You have images of him going back and making spectacular work of balls that should not have been caught.
There's a drive. Forget that one. Just a matter of where it lands. It clears everything. The deck, the seats, and headed toward the Allegheny. An absolute bomb from Pedro Alvarez, number 7. Gives this crowd a thrill. There have not been many home runs over the history of this ballpark that have been hit that far.
Perfect. Inside the foul pole, heading for the Allegheny. Call a river patrol. We got a floater.
And off the glove of Mauer into right field. Harrison has a 7-game hitting streak. Well, this is a thing of beauty right here when Pedro Alvarez catches it flush.
Oh, up and in and perfect. Home run right there. You knew it at that point. Whew.
Landed in that boat.
That's pretty to watch,
we're told. There's a base hit to right field. Cervelli goes the other way.
Let's make things a little interesting. You got the ball?
Yeah.
There you are. Yep. I'm showing it. I got it. Yeah, it's mine. You're not getting it. My baseball. Well, that was the perfect one to watch.
Corey Hart, who's been the one bright spot off the bench this season for the Pirates. He's the only pinch hitter that has any hits. He's 6 for 14. He's in the hole now, 0-2. Pirate pinch hitters 6 for 58 total. And Corey Hart has all 6 hits. This was before the Tabata infield single. .446 feet, the estimated distance on the Alvarez bomb. So Hart is pinch hitting for Lees.
So Nolasco gives up his first home run of the year, and it was an impressive one. You hit him that high, that long, and you just come right down the right field line. You know you're going to have some action in the water.
Ball bounced into that boat. We saw those folks reach into the boat and grab a souvenir, and now Hart is a strikeout victim.
Again, way out in front of an off-speed pitch, curveball.
Watch this. Here we go. He's
looking around. My ball.
Baseball's in there. Grab it.
Well, you know what? Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Look at that. Now that's somebody that wants a souvenir.
Yeah, he wants the baseball. I don't want anything else.
There we go. Yep.
I'm in. I'm out. Got my baseball.
A little help, please. Here we are.
Get an assist. That's the first mate, right?
That's right. A souvenir.
What'd you do last night? Well, I found this baseball on a boat.
Well, Gregory Polanco 0 for 2 tonight.
Can we still have some expectations?
Yeah,
for Polanco?
sure. Doesn't have to reach the boat or the river or anything else. Vance Worley now in the bullpen, at least for the time being. He's going to be the new Pirates pitcher in the 5th.
I'd like to see a fastball delivered where Alvarez got one. Alvarez got the perfect pitch too. A little bit up, a little bit in. And that power zone.
Grounded foul past Rick Sofield.
It's one of Nolasco's best fastballs. That one, what, 93, 94?
And out of play, and now 2-2 the count.
And now that Nolasco is even, what he's been doing is getting a lot of foul balls and showing fastballs, and then getting his swing and a miss with a real slow curveball. So I don't know what they're thinking about now, but Suzuki out to talk. That sequence has been working for them. But sometimes the pitchers say, okay, I've done that. Now he's going to be expecting the hook. Now I'm going to stay with a fastball. So the thinking goes back and forth. You don't want to be accused of being too patterned as a pitcher.
3-2.
There's the hook. 72 miles an hour.
Three and two, and now again conversation. Don't want to be putting men on base when you're ahead by 6 runs.
Yep. But we've heard from a lot of good baseball people, not automatically going to hit a fastball here.
Rarely anymore.
It used to be.
Yeah.
Used to be 90%.
Now it's more rare to see a fastball in this count. See what Polanco gets. Went away from the fastball.
80 miles an hour.
3-2.
And that should, you know, if you've got decent control, that should be your thinking, because these guys are all in the big leagues because they really murdered fastballs, if they're honest, during their minor league careers coming up through. And they murdered fastballs when they were ahead in the count.
3-2 pitch. Got him.
Another hook.
7 strikeouts for Ricky Velasco. Not a river ball. We're going to dispute this because it landed on the fly in that boat on the Allegheny. So we'll call it a river ball. Watch this. We've slowed it down. Steve, maybe you can circle where this baseball is so we can all track it. Okay, it's right up there at the top of your screen. Now follow it. Still going. Keep your eye on that ball. Headed toward the boat. And on the fly.
Boy, greens in regulation.
How about that?
Not everybody has that shot.
No, that's right.
Hit a 5-iron into the boat. Impressive work.
So they keep track, as we said, of all the balls that have been hit on the fly in the river. We'll call that one a river ball. And the 36th in the history of PNC Park. Pedro Alvarez 2 years ago hit a ball that landed on the side hill that rolled into the river. But this one on the fly into that boat.
Vance Worley coming in here in the top of the 5th inning. Lee's won a couple of innings, giving up a run on 2 hits. There's the numbers for Vance.
One away, and so Pedro Alvarez becomes just the 3rd player in the history of PNC Park to hit a ball essentially into the river on the fly. Darrell Ward did it back in 2002. Darrell Ward was playing for the Houston Astros at the time. Traveled some 479 feet. And 2 years ago, Garrett Jones became the first Pirate to hit a ball into the Allegheny on the fly, some 463 feet. And Pedro Alvarez becomes the 3rd player ever and the 2nd Pirate. Pretty impressive stuff. 1 ball, 1 strike on Torrey Hunter.
Just wish there had been 5 or 6 men on base.
Yes, no doubt about that.
First trip out of the bullpen for Vance Worley after 7 starts.
Full count. Charlie Morton makes a rehab start tonight. If all goes well, we could see him joining the rotation this weekend. A ground ball to Walker. 2 outs. Make it a family day this Sunday. Pirates Mets 1:35. All kids 14 and younger get one of these Garrett Cole replica camo jerseys courtesy of Chevrolet, and get to the game early for the #1 Cochran Family Fun Zone out on Federal Street. And after the game, kids can run the bases compliments of the original pizza logs. For tickets, go to pirates.com. Garrett Cole will be pitching on Friday against Noah Syndergaard. Opening of that series. Syndergaard, highly touted rookie, making his 3rd big league appearance, coming off his first major league win at home in New York.
Cole 5-2.
They call Syndergaard Thor. We'll have to come up with something for Garrett Cole by Friday.
Old King Cole. Well, it's not Thor-like.
1-2 on Suzuki. He has single, doubled, scored a pair.
Coltrane. I keep thinking of Pat Garrett, the gunslinger, when the sheriff that got Billy the Kid. You can't match it up.
Vance Worley, the former Twin. Pirates picked up Worley late spring training last year. He was relegated to the bullpen in spring training, wasn't thrilled with that, so was very happy to be dealt to the Pirates. He made 1 relief appearance for the Pirates last season, and he hits Suzuki. Then Cervelli gets hit again.
You must have a bullseye on him somehow, some way. And you wonder about Vance Worley a little bit inside the right-handers, because he kind of throws across his body.
Yeah.
His front foot is stepping out toward third base, so he's got to have the right arm come back around the body a little bit. So he's always getting that angle, and he usually handles it pretty well, but that ball deflects off Suzuki. So Worley bagged 2 catchers with 1 delivery.
And Hurdle and Ben Potenziano go out to check on Cervelli. That clipped him on the mask. Aaron Hicks has walked and singled. Hicks was so bad last year from the left side, he gave up switch hitting. But worked on it over the winter and reshaped his swing. He's back at it. First round pick in 2008, 14th overall choice that year out of Long Beach, California.
Hasn't perfected this approach from the side yet. What, 222 coming into the game?
It's 4 for 18. Yeah. 222 for Aaron Hicks, who again was recalled last week from the minor leagues. Shortstop Gung. A scoreless inning of relief for Vance Worley. Sanchez, 7 runs in 3 2/3 innings. Early departure. Meanwhile, the Cardinals lead the Mets 4-2.
Early departure.
Mark Reynolds homered for St. Louis against Jonathan Neese.
Who we will see. By the way, early departure. What about Sunday? What, 7 shutouts or something? So crazy? Was it? But the pitchers were staying around Sunday. 7 major league shutouts on Sunday's calendar day, and tonight getting people knocked around early.
Little theme. I didn't realize, Steve, there were that many shutouts. A.J. Burnett and the Pirates blanked the Cubs. Of course, the Shelby Miller shutout of the Marlins. Sean O'Sullivan got the win in the shutout over the Diamondbacks. The Phillies in Philadelphia. Baltimore with the shutout, and the first, I believe, big league win for Mike Wright. The rookie got called up. Kansas City shut out the Yankees.
And I think 2 losing teams scored just 1 run, so it was quite a unique day of pitching.
Dodgers shut out the Rockies, and Seattle shut out Boston all on Sunday. And the other way for Neil Walker, a leadoff single. Speaking of shutouts, let's go downstairs to Robbie.
I actually exchanged a couple emails with Stacks Inc. And it is when you look at days with 7 or more shutouts in MLB history, that was just the 9th time it's happened. June 4th, 1972, there were 8 shutouts. That's the most in the history of Major League Baseball. But look at that, going all the way back to 1908. Just 9 times that has happened. That's the 3rd time in 43 years. And Steve, you mentioned it, 3 other games in which a losing team scored just 1 run. So we had the 4-5-4 triple play. Now the Pirates getting a small piece as a team in history.
Wow, the stars were aligned, I guess, Rob.
Keep working here against Nolasco.
He has given up 7 hits. Pirates trying to come up with that big hit. Couldn't do it in the 2nd, couldn't do it again in the 4th, but keep slugging. Early action in the 5th.
McCutcheon has popped up and grounded out against Nolasco. 1-2.
There's the opposite sequence. Curveball followed by a good fastball in a good spot. That's Andrew in the hole. What Nolasco has done, he's worked around a lot of base hits. Both teams have 7, but he's gotten outs when he's needed to. And a lot of them have come on the curveball. See the strike zone. He's trying to stay away again and does it. UPMC Sports Medicine strike zone.
8th strikeout for Ricky Nolasco. He's gotten Starling Marte twice. And just going back to this pitch here.
Not a hittable pitch.
Going back to Robbie's conversation with Stats Inc. about the several times, and only a few times in baseball history, all those shutouts in one day. He mentioned August 26, 1968. We should point out that Steve Blass had one of those shutouts. He blanked the Atlanta Braves, a 9-hitter on August 26, 1968 at Atlanta Stadium. You don't remember much about that one, do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No, I know you don't. Because you had a lot of them.
I did. I had 7 or 8 that year.
Was that the year with Elroy went out?
Yeah,
to the left.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
right.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 1968. I had 7.
That story
and
again was.
And then
Elroy had a chance to.
He needed 1 appearance to set a National League record. Then it stood of appearances for one team.
Okay.
So we found out the night before I started the game.
You found out he was going to be traded, right?
Yeah, on a Friday night, and on Saturday, I started against the Braves. I faced a batter or 2. They called time. I went to left field. He came in, faced a batter. I don't know if he got the batter out or not.
But then you came in.
I came back in.
Game.
Yeah, and the Braves didn't score.
It was a combined shutout, but
yeah,
you didn't get any credit for it.
I did not get a complete game or a shutout. I had 7, and 8 would have tied the team record.
So again, August 26, 1968, Steve had one of those shutouts.
Yeah.
On that very date that Robbie was talking about. Time was called.
And I can't help myself. I did have a little run there of 6 shutouts and 9 consecutive starts.
Jeez.
That was fun.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. That was the year of the pitcher, and Gibson's great year. Denny McLain 130. A whole lot of pitching going on.
Has himself a hit. That will send Walker to third. Marte's trying for second, and he will make it. Oh. And it's a good thing that ball was cut off.
Yeah, it was
not
right
sure that he'd have gotten him out, but it would have been close.
And that would have been, well, the crown jewel of the evening. You can't run in or out when you're this far down. So that ball up a little bit. He makes him pay for the height. And once again, the Pirates in business. He's got everything in front of him, but he's going to go for it, and the throw is cut.
So with one out, the infield looking for outs. We'll play back against Jung Ho Kang.
You get a base hit here, you are back in the ball game. You're down 4, but you're back in it.
Alvarez comes to the plate.
Yeah, let's see it again. Come on.
Yellowwood presents Bringing the Lumber. And since we last saw this home run, they've adjusted the distance to 461 feet. Straight into the boat.
Boats in regulation.
There it is, up close.
That's one of the unique images you will see in the history of this ballpark for years to come. Home run that lands on a boat.
So from the boat's point of view, that's what it looks like.
Here it comes.
Yep.
Oh, that's a great shot. See it from that angle.
Nicely done. Terry's out there.
Yeah.
What do you think if you're the pitcher that gives up a home run that lands in that boat, essentially the river, 461 feet, and I also wonder about Alvarez.
Well,
the approach is for both men.
Well, Nolasco can tell his grandkids about it. Pedro's going to have more of those.
Just wondering about the next time up after you give up a long home run. I mean, Titanic. Yeah. You're the pitcher. What's your approach?
You might say it's not in your mind. It happened. It's over. It's done. It's behind you. But it's in your mind. And yeah, I
can't help it.
I've thrown a few monster home runs, and yeah, they linger. And now usually it's a different pitch at least to start off the next at bat.
A roll to the right side and shallow right. Dozier is going to get him. And the Pirates get one.
This is where you need to be. You know it's taking its toll on me, but I don't feel invisible. So tell me why can't you say this is where you need to be? You know it's taking its toll on me. So I hope for a miracle. Yeah, I hope for a miracle.
Great shots from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo, and another nice shot here. Looking up from outside PNC Park as Shane Robinson takes a strike. New catcher is Chris Stewart. Cervelli got hit a couple of times again tonight.
And the Pirates picking away at this early big lead, but single numbers so far.
On them and a line drive to Gone. Well, Cervelli has been beaten up really the last few games, and this one looked like it rattled his cage after it hit Suzuki, and they came out to check on him. And Potenziano came out to talk to him. You wonder, Steve, about the concussion issues, whether just being extra cautious now, why take any chances?
Yep, that would be a good guess.
Hopefully nothing serious with Francisco Cervelli. Twirly pitched a scoreless fifth. And he has one out here in the sixth. And gets his now bound opponent. Velasco looking. Allegheny Health Network injury update. We talked earlier about Charlie Morton making what is likely to be his final rehab start tonight for AAA Indianapolis. And he struck out 9 batters in 6 1/3. Walked 4. 2 hits, 1 run. 104 pitches.
I think the 104 pitches is maybe the operative number, and 9 strikeouts. Looks like a plus outing for Charlie.
Right now the Pirates list the starters for the weekend against the Mets is Garrett Cole, A.J. Burnett, and Francisco Liriano. See if Pirates decide to pitch Morton on Monday.
Not that common to have 2 off days in 1 week, Monday and Friday of this week.
Jeff Locke goes tomorrow night, and Worley for the time being is pitching out of the bullpen. And Jeff Locke talking to A.J. Burnett.
Different managers have different approaches to situations, these off days with your starting rotation.
He slapped at it, and a couple of line drive outs to the left side of the infield. Pirates baseball, we enter the garage and lift the hood on Pirates hidden mechanic Jim Benedict. See how his work behind the scenes fixing pitchers is a major reason for the team's depth on the mound. Inside Pirates baseball, hidden mechanic debuts tonight after postgame on Root Sports. Just heard Clayton Richard talking on our pregame radio interview the other day about Jim Benedict. There's a drive the other way, hit by Josh Harrison toward the wall, and it is off the top of the wall. No, it's a home run, I believe, according to the second base umpire. So for now, it's a home run, but we'll see. Brian Onora signals home run. Paul Molitor is going to challenge it. This is the interesting thing about replay. There's a celebration, the fireworks, but now hold everything. Tim DeBacco announces the home run. There's the celebration in the dugout. This could be short-lived. We're going to take a look.
We'll probably give you many looks because there's a lot going on. That right, see the blue area, the high mark area, right along there, and then there's a yellow line. There's a yellow line. The ball coming down to hit right in there.
Yep.
And you've got the yellow line. It's not above the blue. It's this one. It's along that line.
So called a home run for now, but as you could see, and Steve circled the ball where it hit, right at that high mark sign. They're going to call this one back.
Yeah, above the blue, there's an open section, and then there's the yellow line. Okay, see, your yellow line is the home run line. That ball is hitting in between the blue. It's in there, in that neighborhood.
And we have a double.
Correct call. So we got to bring the fireworks back. We got to get the announcement back. And
Josh Harrison goes back.
Josh Harrison.
Second. But hey, maybe this is a better way to start a rally. Start off with a double.
Yeah, you need to put string a lot of things together. That's one point. That's a good thing. Love to have it.
So Josh Harrison talking with Torrey Hunter, playfully giving him the business. Not going to catch that one. Now Chris Stewart. His first at bat. Josh Harrison pointing toward the wall. Torrey Hunter. Nope, no home run.
He's the closest one to it. And activity in the Twins bullpen. They get things going.
One ball, one strike. Stewart's first at bat came in for Cervelli.
Right there. And Chris would like to have that one back. Take a whack at it. The bullpen for the Twins getting busy as the Pirates keep picking away.
That was Aaron Thompson out there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sean Rodriguez out on deck for the Pirates to bat for Worley. Full count. Velasco walked Cervelli in the second inning.
Yeah, and for a guy who was staked to a 7 or 8 run lead early, The leash is getting shorter for Nolasco.
And in the air to right. One down, and Sean Rodriguez will pinch hit. Josh Harrison is at second base, and don't forget about the Josh Harrison bobblehead day coming up on Saturday. First 20,000 fans coming out to the 4:05 game against the Mets get one of these Josh Harrison bobbleheads courtesy of Allegheny Health Network. Also another Eaton Park Scratch and Win Saturday where everybody's a winner. For tickets, go to Pirates.com. 4:05 Saturday afternoon game. Josh Harrison bobbleheads. Well, it is Twitter Tuesday. You've heard Robbie taking your questions for Sean Rodriguez. And there's a broken bat flare caught by the shortstop Santana.
A shattered bat. Firewood all over the infield. Part of it. That's what you really call getting sawed off. And the crossing pattern.
Dozier veers off last second. Now Gregory Polanco 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Hits it hard, but at Mauer, who drops it, and that's going to cost him a chance to get an out. And the Pirates still have life here in the 6th.
Ball was hit hard, but right at the first baseman. That's an E3. I'm guessing.
It is an error. Second error of the season charged to Mauer.
Just far enough away for Gregory to get to first base.
Pitching coach for the Twins is Neil Allen.
Former Mets pitcher. See the Mets, as Greg mentioned, over the weekend. Good friend Terry Collins bringing his crew in.
They are currently in first place, a game up on the Washington Nationals, entering today's action. Neil Allen, former Mets closer, brief word with Nolasco. Walker has grounded out, struck out, and singled to left. Those Mets are down 9-2 to the Cardinals in the 6th inning. Ball 1. Jonathan Neese gave up 8 runs in 5 innings on 11 hits. The Mets won last night in extra innings. The Cardinals still at 25-13. With the best record in baseball. (2-0).
Neil Walker almost had himself a home run, just hooked it a little bit to the right of the foul pole earlier at bat.
Ryan Presley has joined the left-hander Thompson in the bullpen. And Nolasco might have to get Walker. (2-0) count. And throwing over to keep Polanco close. Archimedes Caminero will be the new Pirates pitcher. Nolasco has struck out 8. Back in September 2009, he struck out 9 consecutive Braves batters, one shy of Tom Seaver's major league record. Line down the line in right field. It is a fair ball. And this ball bounces away from Hunter. Rick Soke 8-4.
And that's the way to make him pay for that error.
Neil Walker's 14th RBI of the season.
And this ball is smoked. That ball's hit so hard it didn't have time to hook into foul territory. Down and in. Got the hands in out in front. A little hook shot down in the right field corner. And a big bounce. Huge high bounce.
I thought that might allow Polanco to score, but Torrey Hunter, the Gold Glover, got to it quickly enough. And that will be it for Ricky Nolasco. Andrew McCutchen will face a new pitcher. Pirates down 4. Would make this very, very interesting.
Runners on second and third with 2 outs.
Point Park University question. When was the last time the Pirates came back from a 7-run deficit?
It's been a while. That's the answer.
How about this? Coincidence? I don't think so. Last time they came back from a 7-run deficit, June 10, 2001, and it was against the Twins. Pirates scored 7 in the 8th and won that game 11-8, and that was at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. And Ryan Presley, his 8th appearance.
Part of the season already at AAA.
Line drive that's going to carry out to the center fielder. Hicks makes the play as McCutchen lines out to center. Pirates get 1, trail 8-4. Pirates have collected throughout their baseball careers. Learn the influences Brewers coach John Shelby had on his nephew Josh Harrison, and much more inside Pirates baseball. Presented by Allegheny Health Network tomorrow at 6 on Root Sports. And here, watching the Pirates try to come back against these Minnesota Twins, trailing 7-0 going into the bottom of the second, and 8-1 after 2.5. Caminero is the fourth Pirates pitcher. Liriano goes 2 innings, gives up 7 runs, 5 hits. Radimus Lees gave up a run in 2 innings, and Vance Worley 2 scoreless.
And Caminero was knee-deep in a very ugly late inning in Chicago on Saturday afternoon. Balk, wild pitches, all kind of things going on. The Pirates were beaten, what is it, 3-1 was the final?
4-1 was the final.
4-1 in the final, yep.
He gave up a couple. Yeah, it was ugly. 3 walks in that 7th inning. Wild pitch, a balk.
And we run Sean Rodriguez home run in that game Saturday afternoon. Greg, we were having a discussion before what different managers do in a situation with sometimes a one day off, or even a situation like this, 2 days off. Do you move up a hot pitcher, or do you stay and keep your rotation intact? And I'm not saying, Hurdle has a definite rule that he has, but different managers do it different ways. Sometimes they'll move a hot pitcher up.
Well, I know earlier this season they had something similar, Steve, and they just kept everybody. They kept the 5-man intact, but because Locke and Worley have been struggling, that's the reason why now Worley ends up in the bullpen. A lot of times they like to give pitchers extra days.
And they can move everybody back so it stays the same. Yeah, there's a lot of factors involved.
Again, Locke goes in tomorrow's game. Burnett pitched on Sunday. His next start will be Saturday. He gets an extra day off. There's a drive foul by Dozier, who homered in the first inning off Liriano over the right center field wall. Out of the University of Southern Mississippi, Brian Dozier facing Archimedes Caminero. Strike 3 call. Dozier reacts.
98, 99 mile an hour heat on the corner. Tough combination. That speed, that location. Just take the bat back and sit down. That's all you can do.
Alan Porter has really been right on those calls on the edges. Even though these hitters haven't agreed with him. Joe Mauer.
It's amazing when you would add up the number of pitches we see on those grids that are on the line during the course of a season.
How
it's
often
amazing
right they are. It's incredible.
And how many are thrown right on that line.
How many times these umpires get it right? That's what's unbelievable.
Yep.
That's
exactly right. They're thrown there and they're called there.
Crew chief Jeff Kellogg.
Yeah, always underappreciated men in blue.
Credited with a 3-run double in the second inning. Well, how big was that? It's right through that hole. Off of Liriano. That preceded the Plouffe home run. 2-2 on the St. Paul native, the #1 pick overall in 2001. Plouffe. His 6th home run of the year in the second inning.
Well, for how many years it was M&M in New York, Maris and Mantle. There was Maurer Morneau here in Minnesota.
I mentioned these Twins going 70 and 92 last year. And Paul Molitor, Hall of Famer, taking over as manager. It's his first managing job, and he had turned down years ago a Blue Jays offer to become their skipper because he had always wanted to, if he ever did manage in the big leagues, manage his hometown team.
Well, so far good marks, 21 and 17 coming into tonight's game.
Grounded right to second. This will be the second out. Molitor is 58 years old. He was a first-round pick of the Brewers in 1977 out of the University of Minnesota. 21-year major league career. And you look at this Twins, the stability on the bench for the Minnesota Twins. Going back to 1986 when Tom Kelly replaced Ray Miller as the manager of the Twins. Since Kelly's hiring, there have been 261 managerial changes in the big leagues.
Pretty impressive. As is Camanero's top of the 7th.
In order, and seventh-inning stretch here. Caminero with a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. Game homestand, the first of 2 interleague games against the Minnesota Twins. And then the Mets in over the weekend. And then next week, Steve, we get to see the Marlins. How about what they did, hiring Dan Jennings from the front office?
Yeah. I mean, never managed.
No pro baseball experience, no pro managerial experience. We're just talking about Paul Molitor, the Hall of Famer, taking over as a first-year skipper. Molitor had a lot of experience in the minor leagues, player development. 2-0. It'll be an interesting experience for those Marlins.
It honestly sounds like a mess down there right now. It does. It seems kind of crazy. However, got our good friend Mike Berger.
Yes, that's right.
Acting assistant general manager.
Meanwhile, Molitor, we're talking about the Hall of Famer, the Brewer, Blue Jay, and Twin. 3,319 hits, 9th most all time. The World Series MVP in 1993 as a member of the Blue Jays. 3-0 now. 3-0 pitch is taken for ball 4. And so leadoff base runner. Ryan Presley was able to get Andrew McCutchen With 2 on in scoring position, McCutchen lined out to center field.
I should be ashamed to say that we'd like to see Presley leave the building. That's
yes.
awful.
Yes,
it
is.
Yeah.
But you acknowledged it's awful.
Okay. Takes the sting out of it. Still like to see it.
I told you the last time the Pirates came back from a 7-run deficit against these Minnesota Twins in June of 2001. Also that same year, they came back May 2001 from a 7-0 deficit to beat the Milwaukee Brewers. Can be done.
It's hard work, but it can be done. Right?
Singled, fouled out, and bounced out. Brought in a run with his ground ball in the 5th. Singled and scored in the 2nd.
Got to stop this continuing program of leaving runners on base. 8 left on so far for the Pirates through the first 6 innings.
Left the bases loaded in the 2nd. And in the 4th. Two men left on in the 4th inning. A man left on in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. 2-1 count on Gong. Shot past third. Second hit of the night for Gong.
You know, Greg, we talked back in spring training about the 40 home runs, very impressive, but the 356 batting average, that can happen anywhere. It doesn't have anything to do with fences, power, anything. That's flat out hitting.
Molitor's going to go to his left-hander in the bullpen.
Presley has left the building.
There, you got it in there, see? Face left-hander Aaron Thompson. This bomb in the 4th inning that traveled 461 feet. 3rd player ever to essentially hit the Allegheny on the fly. Actually goes into the boat, the Point Park University tweet, and maybe the tweet of the year from David Lee.
Yep.
El Toro strikes again. A hull in one.
That guy's got.
You're bummed that you missed that one.
I missed it completely. I want to
You're worried
say,
about Presley leaving the building. You should have been worried about the hull in one.
I know.
Of all people, you.
I know.
How many hull in ones have you had?
2 in 1 hull. Or, 2 in 1 day.
Now, Alvarez.
I just wanted to say all aboard. But that wasn't even close to being a hole in me.
A pickoff try, and they almost get Gong. Yikes.
Snuck him back of him. That's all timing.
Oh, brother.
You know, many times you will see that play from a right-hand pitcher. He will turn his head back around and he will break. He will start to throw when the first baseman breaks. If you turn just far enough. That's my favorite pickoff play from a right-hander. That was terrific timing.
They're waiting to take. They're telling Aaron Thompson to wait to take the mound. They wanted to check the replay. Allegheny Health Network Supermo look.
That's the kind of play. If you are quicker, tag them higher and don't come all the way down further lower to make a lower tag, you might have it.
Alvarez bounce into a double play. Looks like no throw. Well, Maurer is pointing. Are they going to say that Gong? They're going to try to say that he maybe interfered, but that's going to fall on deaf ears. This is going to be.
See Jung Ho going out. Yep. Judgment call.
It's a judgment call. You can't review that. He does veer off and
veer out, throw the hands, throw the arms up.
The question is he gone out of the baseline to do that? And you could make an argument that he did. Well, what he did do was prevent the throw. I mean, give him credit because Santana didn't get a throw off thanks to that play by Gong. Otherwise, it's a double play. Aaron Thompson's numbers.
Former Pirate. 2011. Full time with the Bucks.
Now, Josh Harrison, who has struck out, singled, and doubled. Initially was ruled a home run leading off the 6th inning, but they reviewed it, and that call was overturned, and properly so. A double.
Finally got him around later on. Just too many single runs so far. Let's see if we can change this in the bottom of the 7th.
To right field. Drops in. Alvarez holds at second. RBI single for Harrison. That's his 3rd straight hit. And he has really gotten hot the last week.
And that's a good sign, too, because during that slump when he's really struggling, he didn't push that ball to right field. He had to try to pull it, but not much you can do. The ball's outside the strike zone, but he likes it, goes upstairs, and that's going to be it for Aaron Thompson as it gets stickier and stickier here for Paul Molitor and his Minnesota Twins. And he wants another pitcher.
Josh Harrison's 11th RBI of the season. It's turning out to be closer, certainly, than Paul Mahler would have liked. His team led 7-0 going to the bottom of the second inning. Francisco Cervelli was lifted from the game. And he took that shot off the body of Kurt Suzuki, the pitch from Worley, and he was, as we suspected, removed for precautionary measures. And we take a look at the new pitcher, Blaine Boyer.
19th appearance.
Chris Stewart at the plate, first and second, one out. Stewart flied to right on a 3-2 pitch from starter Ricky Nolasco last inning. Stewart could find a gap. Harrison can fly. Blaine Boyer.
Certainly not a strikeout pitcher. 19 innings, 8 strikeouts.
And there's a double play ball. They didn't turn one. Because of Gong's slide, they turn one here, and the Pirates settle for one again. It's 8-5.
Ball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Health for all. By Kenny Ross, Ask a Neighbor. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin Furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
8-5 going to the 8th inning here at PNC Park. Twins were staked, the Twin starter staked to the big lead. Nolasco, it's still his game to win despite allowing 10 hits in 5 2/3 innings. He's in line to get the W.
And I've done some extensive research as we take a look at the numbers for Jared Hughes.
Oh, you have.
If we continue to put up 1 runs, we're going to come up a run short. We've got to stop scoring 1. I mean, I spent a lot of time between innings.
I can see that you have.
We cannot stay on this pace.
They would fall a run short.
Numbers for Jared.
Torrey Hunter is 0 for 3. High fly ball towards center. McCutcheon.
Major league fly ball. And will we have a moment, Greg? I want to say hello and congratulations to Courtney Chapel. She's out with her group singing the anthem. It sounded great tonight out in the Baldwin Whitehall area.
They sang the anthem here?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I want to say congratulations, sir. She's a good friend, good Pirate fan. Yeah, and I'd appreciate not getting a look.
No, what look?
The look you always get.
I wanted to congratulate those two and that young Pirate fan getting that souvenir.
Absolutely.
The Voracek twins too.
So congratulations to all the young Pirate fans.
Theo and Remy, twins, celebrating their first birthday today.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And congratulations to those young fans. Congratulations to all the young fans that are here tonight. And you too, Greg. Congratulations.
Thank you,
to you
also. And I wish you a happy birthday, whenever it is. Well, we have a moment. MLB.tv Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
How about this bullpen work for the Pirates tonight?
Excellent work so far.
One base runner since the 3rd inning.
One run. It was the run that Lease allowed in the 3rd. Aaron Hicks has walked, singled, and bounced out. Coach Tomlin is here.
Good looking Pirate jersey. Not too much more free time for Coach Tomlin.
Oh, he
get busy again.
Family of big Pirate fans, and he has grown very close with Clint Hurdle. Going to feel like a little football weather the next couple nights, isn't it?
Yeah.
And cool off considerably.
I tell you, speaking of the look, ball hit foul. Coach Tomlin can give players the look.
Oh,
he's got the look on the sidelines when it's needed.
That's good to see him share a chuckle, right?
Hey, night at the ballpark. Yep. Tip of the cap, acknowledging somebody who was here with him. Done a great job.
2-2.
As has that man. Done a good job. Great job on Hurdle.
Paul Molitor acknowledged that as well, on how he is learning from other managers around the league, and in particular he mentioned what a great job Clint Hurdle does. 3-2 on Hicks. So he's got a newfound respect for the managers that he played for and the managers in the game today.
Tough play.
Wow. How about that?
Looked like he touched a snake or something.
He kicked it. He went down to reach for it, he kicked it toward the dugout. That was bizarre.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Boom. The foot arrived before the hand. That's what you call having long legs.
Man, this thing just shoots out.
I mean, it's like his foot went sideways. It looked like he'd seen a ghost.
Jeez.
A shot of wood.
My.
We'll have to get him a close-up video of that.
Oh, there he is back and stabs it and runs
there you go.
first.
Take that, you baseball.
Jordy Mercer pinch hitting for Jared Hughes in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pirates down 8-5. Jared Hughes, when he got back to the dugout,
he knew he was going to hear it.
Oh yeah. Kicking that ball toward the backstop.
Yeah, just a little wide left.
A scoreless inning of relief for Hughes. Jordy Mercer 0 for his last 9. Lines it to second. Right at Brian Dozier. Nissan road ahead. Finale of this brief 2-game series. Tomorrow night, Mike Pelfrey for the Twins, Jeff Locke for the Pirates. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Root Sports. Jeff Locke will be looking to bounce back. Pirates go with the lefties back-to-back because of the schedule and because Worley was sent to the bullpen for the time being. Mike Pelfrey, the right-hander.
Former #1 or first-round pick. Back to win with the Mets.
And Polanco, his struggles continue. He is 0 for his last 5 tonight. 0 for 5 and 0 for his last 19. We'll bring up Neil Walker. Couple of hits, RBI double in the 6th. Blaine Boyer, last 15 outings, has gone 17 consecutive innings not allowing a run.
Proving once again you can do it by a lot of ways, not just striking people out.
3rd round pick of the Braves back in 2000. Spent a little bit of time with the Pirates in their minor leagues a few years ago. Blaine Boyer bounced around with a handful of organizations, let go by teams like the Diamondbacks going into the 2011 season. The Mets had him for a time, let go. The Pirates had him in their minor leagues for a while, and the Cardinals ended up pitching in Japan after not pitching at all in 2012 professionally. And he has a quiet 1-2-3 inning.
And he was asked by Pierre, Sean, how many gloves do you own altogether?
Carry 4 with me in the game. A first base mitt, a middle infield glove, a third base glove, which some people obviously ask why not the same, but I like a little bigger glove there, and an outfield glove. But I do have a mitt, and I have another glove, an infield glove that I'm always breaking in.
And he's got the BP glove that he takes out as well. It's pretty interesting stuff with Sean Rodriguez. I guess his bag, Greg and Steve, might be just a little bit heavier than the other guy's bag. Steve, I don't know how many gloves you travel with you. Would you have more than one glove?
I had one glove for 5 years, probably. Yep.
Josh Harrison has a bunch of gloves.
Yep.
He's now over at second. Jordy Mercer stays in the game at short. Jung Ho Kang moving from short to third. So Neil Walker, who made the last out, lifted, and Antonio Bastardo, the new pitcher, is in his spot.
Well, way back when, Greg, we were talking about the Rivers Casino tips to win. One of them was a well-rested bullpen to have a good night. Well, they've had a good night, but we were assuming it would be protecting a lead. They were called on early. They have been terrific. But so far, it's been too high a hill to climb, but there's still a little bit of time.
It's interesting, Steve, because the Pirates actually had some chances. And, you know, a lot of times you don't get that opportunity, but they had, I mean, a bunch of opportunities to score more than this 5.
9 left altogether, several of those 9 in scoring position. Good many. That's where we stand now, 8-5 on the bottom end of that score. Andrew looks on. He got in on that one a little bit.
Well, pinch hitter Nunez is retired.
As they say, he got in his kitchen. Every pitcher loves to see that.
Taking a look at those chances the Pirates had after they scored the 1 run in the second. The infield hit by Jose Tabata, a pinch hit single brought in Jung Ho Kang with the first run, but then Nolasco was able to get Gregory Polanco to fly out after a 1-2-3 third. And following the Pedro Alvarez home run, the Pirates strung back-to-back hits together from Josh Harrison and Francisco Cervelli, but Corey Hart, the pinch hitter, and Polanco both struck out to end that threat. After 1 out in the 5th inning, following a Neil Walker single, Starling Marte doubled, putting runners at second and third. Jung Ho Kang grounded out. Pirates got a run out of that, and then Pedro Alvarez bounced out. Josh Harrison led off the 6th inning with a double. Following the review, 2 outs later, Polanco reached on an error. Neil Walker doubled him home. And then Andrew McCutchen lined out.
A couple quick outs for Bastardo. And if you can get Antonio Bastardo to throw a lot of strikes, I mean, he has been an effective reliever, but he gets into these situations where he's pitching from behind and missing the strike zone. Like most pitchers, strike thrower, when you get the ball in the strike zone, you're going to get outs. And he has proven himself before, but he's got to pitch out in front. That would be a big thing for the Pirates. Get him in tandem with Tony Watson.
Now to play off the bat of Dozier. And there is their closer, the lefty Glenn Perkins. Save situation as it stands now.
Yep, he has 13. That's tied for the major league lead. Pirates deep into their bullpen. Pitcher number 6 on the evening, Antonio Bastardo.
One and two. Dozier at his 7th home run of the season, second batter of this ball game. Bastardo came over from the Phillies over the winter. Did not make the trip to Philadelphia. His wife celebrated the birth of a child the last few days, and he rejoined the team in Chicago. Still 2-2 on Dozier. He's also walked and struck out twice. Pirates have out hit the Twins 12-8.
Not so much the volume as when they come, those critical hits.
Keep going back, Steve, to that ground ball that Mauer hit through the left side of the infield in the 2nd inning.
Seemingly harmless little ground ball bouncing
with 2 outs
against the shift. Died in left field. Marte a late start and a weak throw. Gave him that 3rd one. You cannot blame the game on Marte. Francisco Liriano was not good tonight. So that's the main theme. He's not able to get much done through 2 innings.
In the air to center. So that will do it. And we'll be heading to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance. Glenn Perkins going to try to save it. Our UPMC scoreboard shows you the Twins up 8-5. Flock takes the mound for the Buccos. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Pirates pregame. Presented by W.B. Mason here on Root Sports.
Mr. Locke. There's Mr. Perkins. Who, by the way, has 16 strikeouts and no free passes. And not anything new from Mr. Perkins last year. 61 innings, just 11 walks. Take a look at that number. Ks 16, walks 0, saves 13, as we said, tied for the major league lead.
34 last year, had 36 2 years ago. The St. Paul, Minnesota native. Former first-round pick in 2004 by the Twins. He got the save last year in his home ballpark in the All-Star game, and right away gets McCutchen to ground to Santana for the first out. And Andrew McCutchen 0 for 5. A dozen hits tonight for the Pirates. McCutchen and Polanco both 0-fers. Glenn Perkins trying to save it for Nolasco. Steve was talking earlier about the fact that Nolasco came into this ball game with a 6.38 ERA. Despite that, was 3-1. Well, his ERA drops to 6 tonight. And he's going to go to 4-1.
Sometimes the numbers tell all kinds of stories.
Save numbers have been good for Glenn Perkins over the years.
How about saving the All-Star game in your own town? That's, I mean, storybook stuff.
One of the top closers in the game. Left-handed closer.
They're not that common, are they?
Not really. Aroldis Chapman, of course, the best in the game with the Reds.
But going back to Billy the Kid, Billy Wagner.
Randy Myers, Dan Plesac. And Starling Marte strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. He's also doubled and walked.
Inside, 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 and then down underneath, down and in. It's the middle of May, but still no free passes.
Perkins walked only 11 in 62 innings last year. And Gong is going to have himself his 3rd hit of this game.
Nowhere to go. Another big night for Jung Ho Gong. Takes that breaking ball, tucks it inside that chalk down the left field line. No playing doubles with a 3-run lead. Cut off base hits, put a lid on it. Well, the story of this game is Liriano and lost opportunities.
Yep.
13 hits now for the Pirates.
Fans start the "Let's Go Pedro" chant. They'll give Gong second. Defensive indifference, and the Pirates down to their last strike. Still 1-2. Perkins trying to save it for Nolasco. Alvarez trying to get on and give Harrison a chance. And that is your ball game. Alvarez is caught looking. And the Pirates win a disappointing one here, starting with a rough outing of their left-hander Francisco Liriano and all these hits, but only able to score a run at a time and fall 8-5.
And that is the story of this ball game. All I can think about is Jeff Locke tomorrow night.
Twins win the first of this brief 2-game series by an 8-5 final, even though the Pirates out-hit the Twins 13-8. Ricky Nolasco is 4-1, and Glenn Perkins earns his 14th save. We'll go out now to Paul and Teague.
Thank you very much, Greg and Steve. And obviously, when the Pirates normally put together 13 hits and score 5 runs, we're talking about a Pirate victory. But tonight, the starting pitching just did not get it done.
Well, and it was the second inning. I mean, you know, the Twins were able to add on and add on and add on, just keep that inning going. 6-run inning against Liriano in that second inning. You know, there's not many nights, no matter what you do, that you can overcome a 6-run inning anywhere in the ball game, but especially that early, you know, from your starting pitcher.
And that takes us to our T-Mobile game changer, and that takes us right back to that second inning. And it just never ended, or so it appeared. This is Joe Mauer, just a ground ball through the left side. It's going to end up clearing the bases. Unbelievable that 3 runs would score on this particular play. Mauer would end up at second, and then it was Trevor Plouffe who would hit the home run there. And that was obviously kind of the undoing of the whole night.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it was kind of like the air was out of the whole balloon for the Pirates early in this game. Liriano wanted some pitching. While you saw how slow Marte was getting to that ball, you can't be making plays like that, letting a guy score from, you know, basically shallow left field from first base on the play. So, yeah, there was not a lot of enthusiasm and not a lot of crisp play early in the game for the Pirates. And, you know, they did make a valiant comeback, but you just can't catch up when you give up that much that early.
Hole was too big. The Pirates could not surmount that. They come up on the losing end 8-5. Teague and I are going to break it all down for you next. That is straight ahead on Pirates Postgame, presented by the Allegheny Health Network. That's straight ahead right here on Root Sports.